Ah, well, mon nom s'appelle SK, original.
Hello, it's Melissa, the M of the Emanation Bespoke Hairstyles. How are you? Are you well? Are you good? This posting is for anyone who has fairy knot situation, teeny knot situation, and wants to just have their hair out for a while. So you have looked after your hair, you've done what you've needed to do, you've banded it where necessary, oiled it, banded it before bed, protected it, and you've loosely plaited it and twisted it and tucked it in. You've done what you've needed to do indoors with your hair to reduce the knots. But now you want to be out and about with your hair loose and out, and you want to avoid the knots. Keep watching this video because there are tips to help you to avoid that situation. Hi YouTubers, it's Melissa, the M of the Emanation Bespoke Hairstyles. I hope you're well. Are you good? Do you like my hair today? Oh dear, this is not a styling posting. This is just me, just quickly wanted to have a conversation with you about growth. I just had an interesting conversation with a client, and so I've quickly put the webcam on to talk about it, and it was about the knots in people's hair. So you've got loose afro hair, and what you're finding is the tips, the ends of you've got it out, and the tips are knotting. So as your hair is drying, it's knotting. And I think they call it fairy knots, teeny knots, tiny knots, little knots. And when it's knotting, you try and separate it, your hair breaks off. So you're trying to get growth, you're trying to encourage your hair to grow, but it's like not growing as far as you want it to because it knots. Okay, so this is Melissa's theory on it, from my experience of touching hair and my research. I think that in our Sister Locks training, they teach us about strand types. And what it seems like is you have hair that has fairy knots problems is because your strands are, the cuticles are off. And so when it's wet, it's fine. But when it's drying, they're just coming together. Your hair wants to lock. It's like, I want to lock. And so it comes together, and then obviously it fused together. And if you try and separate it when it's dry, that's just going to hinder growth because it's just going to literally break off. Some people have stronger, rougher cuticles than others. And you who have stronger ones, sometimes it's just what it is. It's hard to separate. Unless you're standing on top of your head, which is impossible, there is no way you can separate every strand. Now, you can try to by spritzing with a leave-in conditioner or just using water or water oil. Basically, your hair wants water. It wants more water than the average person. It wants to be, so if you have your hair styled out, first of all, if you have your hair styled out, you must celebrate shrinkage if you've got fairy knots, because it means you are constantly spritzing your hair wet. With a leave-in conditioner or with water and oil, you would have to decide what suits you. So you have to do a bit of an experiment, and then you decide what best suits you and your strand and your hair type. But water has to be the base of everything. Now, when you have your hair styled out, just be spritzing it. Have a little spritz bottle. You need to keep it spritzed. And when you want to take the styled out, again, you have to work from wet. Basically, that's what I would tell everyone. But you who have fairy knot problems, teeny knot problems, this is much more important for you to do. Because whether you like it or not, as long as you have those issues, you will have the little knots in your hair. Now, those little knots, that's what hinders the growth because it's breaking up. But don't be hard on yourself. When you're unraveling your hair and you see a bit of hair on the floor, that's fine. It's dead strands, and it's just what happens to your hair. Your hair knots up. But actually, if you try to keep your hair hydrated and keep it twisted in and tucked in during the night time, and you have your spritz bottle, you should still have growth if you work from wet. So even if you blow, because we don't work from blow dry, it's really hard for me to comment about you blow drying your hair to keep the fragrance, but I don't think that's going to work, because if you're blow drying your hair and your hair naturally kind of clogs together, blow drying, you're just going to be ripping your hair, pulling your hair, split ends, stretching your hair out. So I don't think that's going to work. And so that is the secret. If you have quick, knotting, tangling hair, it means you have rough cuticles. And as a result, your hair must be kept hydrated with a spritz mix. And you have to decide what best suits you. Whether it's which oil suits you, because you're trying to trap the oil onto your strands. What leave-in conditioner suits you. So a lot of water, a little bit of leave-in conditioner, a little bit of oil, and that should do the trick. And it means you should have growth. Thank you very much for watching this posting. I hope that helps. Anybody who has tips on this, because I don't know everything, this is just Melissa's theory on the situation with your hair type. So if anybody has any more suggestions you can be on, feel free to comment, because we're one community and we're trying to support each other into growth. And when I talk about growth, I'm also talking about density. Yes, we want the length. Of course, we like the length, but density is even more important than the length, for me anyway. And so that's it. That's the message out there. Spritz your hair, keep it hydrated, and also get somebody else to help detangle your hair if you know you have really bad hair tangling problems. Pay for the service. But if you are doing it and you're in a bad mood and you're a bit impatient and you're like, oh my God, here we go again, it's not going to work. You have to stay present with love, patience, separate your strands. Sometimes some people can use a wide tooth comb and it works for them, and other people use their hands, like myself and again. But from time to time, it's nice for somebody else to detangle your hair for you, because that's a job on its own before the styling. Thanks for watching this posting, and take care of you. Stay connected. Thanks for the comments and the messages from Facebook. I'm loving it. Thank you very much, and I hope this helps someone. Take care of you. Bye.
Ah, well, mon nom s'appelle SK, original, avec